The cry of the 15th Aethyr, which is called OXO. There appears immediately in the ether a tremendous column of scarlet fire, whirling forth, rebounding, crying aloud, and about it are 4 columns of green and blue and gold and silver, each inscribed with writings in the character of the dagger, and the column of fire is dancing among the pillars. Now it seems that the fire is but the skirt of the dancer, and the dancer is a mighty god. The vision is overpowering. As the dancer whirls, she chants in a strange, slow voice, quickening as she goes, "Lo, I gather up every spirit that is pure, and weave him into my vesture of flame. I lick up the lives of men, and their souls sparkle from my eyes. I'm the mighty sorceress, the lust of the spirit, and by my dancing I gather for my mother Nuit the heads of all them that are baptized in the waters of life. I am the lust of the spirit that eateth up the soul of man. I have prepared a feast for the adepts, and they that partake thereof see God." Now it is clear what she has woven in her dance. It is the crimson rose of 49 petals, and the pillars are the cross with which it is conjoined, and between the pillars shoot out rays of pure green fire, and now all the pillars are golden. She ceases to dance, and dwindling, gathering herself into the center of the rose. Now it is seen that the rose is a vast amphitheater with 7 tiers, each tier divided into 7 partitions, and they that sit in the amphitheater are the 7 grades of the order of the Rosy Cross. This amphitheater is built of rose-colored marble, and of its size I can say only that the sun might be used as a ball to be thrown by the players in the arena. But in the arena there is a little altar of emerald, and its top has the heads of 4 beasts in turquoise and rock crystal, and the floor of the arena is rigid like a grating of lapis lazuli, and it is full of pure quicksilver. Above the altar is a veiled figure, whose name is Pan. Those in the outer tier adore him as a man, and in the next tier they adore him as a goat, and in the next tier they adore him as a ram, and in the next tier they adore him as a crab, and in the next tier they adore him as an ibis, and in the next tier they adore him as a golden hawk, and in the next tier they adore him not. And now the light streameth out from the altar, splashed out by the feet of him that is above it. It is the holy 12-fold table of OIT. The voice of him that is above the altar is silent, but the echo thereof cometh back from the walls of the circus in a speech. And this is the speech: 3 and 4 are the days of a quarter of the moon, and on the 7th day is the Sabbath, but thrice 4 is the Sabbath of the adepts, whereof the form is revealed in the Aethyr ZID. That is the 8th of the heirs, and the mysteries of the table shall not be wholly revealed, nor shall they be revealed herein. But thou shalt gather of the sweat of thy brow a pool of clear water wherein this shall be revealed, and of the oil that thou burnest in the midnight shall be gathered together 13 rivers of blessings, and of the oil and the water I will prepare a wine to intoxicate the young men and the maidens. And now the table is become the universe. Every star is a letter of the book of Enoch, and the book of Enoch is drawn therefrom by the inscrutable mysteries, that is known only to the angels and the holy sevenfold table. While I have been gazing upon this table, an adept hath come forth, one from each tier, except the innermost tier. And the first drove a dagger into my heart, and tasted the blood, and said. And the second adept had been testing the muscles of my right arm and shoulder, and he says, Fortis, 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 fortis. And the third adept examines the skin, and tastes the sweat of my left arm, and says, Tan, 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 tan. And the fourth adept examines my neck, and seems to approve, though he says nothing, and hath opened the right half of my brain, and he makes some examination, and says, Samahil, Samahil, Samahil. And the fifth adept examines the left half of my brain, and then holds up his hand in protest, and says, P-L-A. And now I am again wrapped in contemplation of that universe of letters which are stars. The words O-R-L-O, I-L-R-O, T-U-L-E are three most secret names of God. They are magic names, each having an interpretation of the same kind as the interpretation of I-N-R-I, and the name O-I-T-R-L-U-L-R-L, O-O-E, are other names of God that contain magical formulae, the first to invoke fire, the second water, the third air, and the fourth earth. And if the table be read diagonally, every letter, every combination of letters is the name of a devil, and from these are drawn the formulae of evil magic. But the holy letter I, above the triad L, 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 dominateth the table, and preserveth the peace of the universe. And in the seven talismans above the central table contain the mysteries of drawing forth the letters, and the letters are the circumference declare the glory of Nuit, that beginneth from Aries. All this while the adepts have been chanting, as it were, an oratorio of 7 instruments, and this oratorio hath one dominant theme of rapture, yet it applieth to every detail of the universe, as well as to the whole, and herein is Kuranzan brought utterly to ruin, that all his work is against his will, not only in the whole, but in every part thereof, even as a fly that walketh upon a burial stone, and the tablet blazeth every brighter till it filleth the whole air, and behold, there is one God therein, and the letters of the star in his crown, Orion, and the Pleiades, and Aldebaran, and Alpha Centauri, and Cor Leonis, and Cor Scorpionis, and Spica, and the pole star, and Hercules, and Regulus, and Aquila, and the ram's eye. And upon a map of the stars shalt thou draw the sigil of that name, and becomes also some of the letters are alike, thou shalt know that the stars also have tribes and nations. The letters of the star is but the totem thereof, and the letter representeth not the whole nature of the star, but each star must be known by itself in the wisdom of him that hath the cynecephalus in leash. And this pertaineth unto the grade of Imagus, and that is beyond thine. All this is communicated not by voice, or by writing, and there is no form in the stone, but only in the brilliance of the table. And now I am withdrawn from all that. But the rosy cross of 49 petals is set upright upon the summit of a pyramid, and all is dark, because of the exceeding light behind. And there cometh a voice. The fly crieth unto the ox, Beware! Strengthen thyself, set thy feet firmly upon the earth, for it is my purpose to alight between thy shoulders, and I will not harm thee. So also are they who wish well unto the masters of the pyramid. And the bee say unto the flower, Give me of thine honey. And the flower gave richly thereof. But the bee, though he witted not, carried the seed of the flower into many fields of sun. So also are they that take unto themselves the masters of the pyramid for servants. Now the exceeding light that was behind the pyramid, and the rosy cross that is set thereon, hath fulfilled the whole air. The black pyramid is like the back of a black diamond. Also the rosy cross is loosened, and the petals of the rose are mingled hues of sunset and of dawn. And the cross is the golden light of noon, and in the heart of the rose there is the secret light that man call midnight, and a voice, Glory to God, and thanksgiving to God, and there is no God but God, and he is exalted, he is great, and in the sevenfold table is his name writ openly, and in the 12-fold table is his name concealed. And the pyramid cast a shadow of itself into the sky, and the shadow spreads over the whole stone. And the angel clad in blue and scarlet, with golden wings and a plume of purple fire, comes forth and scatters discs of green and gold, filling all the air, and they become swiftly whirling wheels, singing together. And the voice of the angel cries, Gather up thy garments upon thee, O thou that hast entered the circle of the Sabbath, for in thy grave clothes shouldest thou behold the resurrection. The flush hangeth upon thee like his rags upon a beggar that is a pilgrim to the shrine of the Exalted One. Nevertheless, bear them bravely, and rejoice in the beauty thereof, for the company of the pilgrim is a glad company, and they have no care. With the song and dance and wine and fair women do they make merry. And every hostel is their palace, and every maid is their queen. Gather up thy garments about thee, I say, for the voice of the ether, that is the voice of the aeon, is indent, and thou art absorbed into the lesser night, and caught in the web of light of thy mother and the word, Arba-da-ha-raba. And now the 5 and the 6 are divorced, and I am come again within my body.